Hey, welcome back. This is What's Working Now. Specifically, we're in an awesome series called The Entrepreneur's Edge. I'm showing you, after 8+ years of executive coaching, people building significant businesses looking to create huge impact in the world, I'm going to show you the secrets. I'm going to show you the mindsets, the skill sets, the tool sets that you need to go build a significant business and life. In last week's episode, I shared with you this discovery that I don't want to be a normal entrepreneur, that the normal entrepreneur is experiencing friction and drag. They're always behind. They're out of energy. They're out of time. They're out of resources. I didn't like living in that life, in that reality. It was overwhelming. And what I learned was that what I really want is to be not normal, Katie. Not normal entrepreneur, to build a not normal business. And what's funny is, as we built our business in this really unique and profound way, that's what people started to say to us. They would say things like, you have all this press, you've been on the Ellen Show, the Rachel Ray Show, the Today Show, on the cover of Entrepreneur magazine. How did you do all of that? And when we would tell them, well, they came to us, they would say, you realize that's not normal. But what they didn't know is that was by design. You see, my background is in product design. And even though I didn't go to business school, I know how to create something into reality. And I'm showing you how to do this. Part of the discovery that we had in last week's episode was that what you need to create, or who you need to create, is you. And that when you can create yourself, the person capable of this dynamic business and life, then you can have the not normal life. Now, I don't like complexity. I like to be able to make sense of things. And so if I could present something to you in a complex way versus a clear and simple way, I know we're not talking, but I'm going to assume that you want the very clear and simple way. Often in business, I feel like solutions and tactics are very surface. And that's not to say they don't have their place. They do. But oftentimes when things are surface, they don't have this lasting quality. And as the world changes, the market shifts, that tactic that maybe was gold a year ago, all of a sudden doesn't have application. The algorithm changed, what the world's looking for and wanting changed, and suddenly you're back to square one. So I think, well, why not learn the underlying principles? And if I can know the underlying principles, the market will shift and change. But I know how to adapt, and I know how to make the pivot, the shift, the change that needs to happen because I understand the core underlying principles. So if that is you, if you're a 7 or 8 figure entrepreneur building something significant, you have a team, you're committed and mission driven and hardworking, then I'm going to share something with you that is the Holy Grail. It is the one lever that when you pull that, it pulls all of the other levers almost at the same time. And so as I was pivoting out of my physical products company into coaching, and I was working with other entrepreneurs, I started to notice that they had a way of operating that reminded me of my early days of entrepreneurship, and that my way of operating had changed quite a bit over those 8+ years inside of my business. And I started to see that if I can help them understand how to dial in their operating system, in a way, they won't even always need to come to me and, find the answer from Katie. I would rather empower an entrepreneur, show you the underlying principles that are driving the um, variables in your business. I would rather empower you by showing you those underlying principles so that you can be the one to grow your business. You can be the one to make the decisions. You can be the one to change the world and go live out your mission and purpose. And so as I was problem solving for that and seeing kind of the difference in which they were viewing the world versus how I had viewed the world, I thought, okay, well, I don't want to create a bunch of Katie robots. And yet, like, I want this client to be more themselves than they ever have been before. And I want them to get what they want, not what I think they should want. So as I was asking all those questions and looking at their way of operating and my way of operating, I realized that, well, we just need to change your operating system. What do I mean? Well, let's take the phone. We all have this phone in our pocket. That's my son. We have this phone in our pocket, and it's amazing, incredible piece of machinery. It will not work without an operating system. This operating system it's like software that uses the processor to make decisions and make moves and make what you want happen on the phone. But the interesting thing about your operating system is over time, it starts to lag, your apps start to crash, and it just doesn't function quite as well. So what do? We go into our systems app, settings app, and we go into general, we look for software update. And surprise, if your phone wasn't working like it used to, it looks like there's an update. Time to update the operating system. Well, what if it was possible to do this for you? What if it was possible to take the things that are creating lag and drag and friction in your business and life and update them so that you're not experiencing this? What is a timely example? I have an incredible client I'm working with he came to me, he was frustrated because he would get these spikes in his revenue, but then it would drop scarily low and then spike and it would go low. And he was like, I need consistent baseline, continuity. I can't ride this roller coaster anymore. Actually, I had multiple clients say that. And I said, okay, well, let's walk through your sales process. And turns out he sells contracts for his program and services to individuals, and quite frequently, the business that he sold the contract to isn't paying the invoice, is pushing him off, full of excuses, and as he shows me screenshot after screenshot after screenshot of here's another one. What do you do in this situation, Katie, when someone's like, I'll get to this in the next couple days? First of all, I don't have those issues. Now, why is that? Why is it Katie doesn't have those issues, but this other entrepreneur, let's call him Jonathan, why is it Jonathan is experiencing this and I'm not? Well, there's one core difference, and that is I have an operating system that prevents any of that getting through into my life and my world. And we're not going to go into the details of that, but this individual, Jonathan, has an operating system that, in a sense, is creating this chaos. And yet, he is so blind to it. Can't see how he is influencing this really frustrating component in his business. So, what are we doing? It's phase 1 of my coaching. We are creating a vital operating system. It is very different from the default. The default has you constantly behind, putting out fires, frantic, anxious, feeling like we're never going to get there. We're not moving fast enough. It's not going the way that things should and are supposed to. And it's just exhausting. When you are in the default operating system, there's a lot of overwhelm. You are dropping the ball, disappointing people. And yet it's so confusing because you're working 80, 90, 100 hours a week. And so you look at your business, you look at your life and you think, well, I guess I need to work harder. I guess I need to be even more disciplined. And I can see how you would come to that conclusion because hard work has been a huge ingredient to your success. Success in school, academics, success out on the soccer field or the basketball court or the football field or the track. Quick question for you. What would happen in your business and life if you could show up powerfully? As a coach to high-performing entrepreneurs, I help intelligent people like you do just that. And if you want to be inspired by people who are getting more done in 90 days than most people do all year, I'm going to invite you to go check out my case studies. The website is now.katierichardson.com/case study. And the cool thing is we've got so many case studies there. You can find an entrepreneur who's just like you. I've also got a link for you down in the show notes. Okay, back to the show. Oftentimes, entrepreneurs who are high performers have also been high performers in athletics, which is kind of interesting. And so it's so confusing. Your mind can't understand it because working harder than everybody else has always been a secret ingredient. It's what it's allowed you to get ahead. But when you literally get to the max of that, and I've had clients who have told me they work up to 120 hours a week, and I'm like, oh, wow. How's that working out for you? It's just not sustainable. When you have maxed out the default operating system and the pain is so great that you are willing to raise your hand and say, this is not sustainable. There is a problem. I think I might be part of the problem and I need help. I need coaching. When you finally experience enough pain that starts to happen, that's when I know I can help you. So I take these individuals on and I show them, look, what I'm about to share with you is paradoxical. It does not make logical sense. I need to warn you, it doesn't make logical sense. And yet I have hundreds of case studies, proof and evidence that what I'm about to share with you, what I'm about to teach you will work. But you have to have the audacity to start implementing it. And it's going to bend your mind. It will. Because again, it doesn't make logical sense, but you've got to look at your life and say, my current way of thinking is getting me my current results. And so if I keep using the same way of thinking, I'm going to keep getting the same results, which means it is time for you to show up and operate in a new way. It is vital for you to show up and operate in a new way. And that is why what I teach people is a vital operating system. This is the greatest lever you can ever pull in your business. And it is a not normal way of moving through the world. And it will help you create a not normal business where press, media, major business partners, they come to you. Investors come to you. I had a client who when he had the default operating system, he was working 120 hours a week, never saw his kids. His wife was continually frustrated with him. And she was asking, how long is it going to be like this? And he was like, maybe 10, 15 more years. And she was like, that's not going to work. He knew he needed to find a solution. So I start showing him the vital operating system. And piece by piece, we go through his default operating system and we say, okay, this piece is working. This one is not. And we keep the good. We keep the values. We keep the integrity. We keep the incredible mission and purpose. And we bring that into the vital operating system. But the broken pieces, the pieces that are limiting his growth, that are creating friction and drag with his team, those pieces we remove. And we replace them with the vital operating system. And what happens over a short amount of time, well, first, it's really, really uncomfortable. And at first, it looks like things are falling apart. And I have to warn people because I know that you're an entrepreneur. I know you're a hard worker, but what you're about to do is the hardest work you've ever done in your whole life. And it might even be a little bit terrifying at first because you're going to wonder if you should go back to the default operating system. You're going to wonder if, yeah, it was difficult, but at least that was known. And it can be really terrifying to start implementing a new operating system for this reason. And I'm going to invite you to have the courage, have the faith, have the audacity to say to yourself, I'm done with that old way. And I know I don't want to live my life with regret. I'm experiencing regret a lot right now, and I am committed to figuring this out. And there's this moment, it's usually about 6 or 8 weeks in, where it becomes so terrifying that they do start entertaining abandoning it. And what's funny, in the beginning, they start getting they immediately start to see a result. After just one session of walking through the program, they start to see, oh, okay, yeah, I got a result. I'm like seeing it, I'm experiencing it, and they keep going. And pretty soon it starts to feel like they're sliding back and they're going down, not going up. And this is where people who can't hack it, people who don't have the mental fortitude, this is where they would potentially abandon ship. I have never let somebody abandon ship, and I have an ability to help them find the courage within themselves to keep going. And when you do, what is possible for you on the other side, once you have implemented the vital operating system, is you have tremendous clarity. You are in integrity with yourself. That war that you were experiencing, the frustration, it's gone. And you're now centered, grounded, clear. Dare I say, you're at peace with yourself. And what that means for your business and your organization, it means you can now empower and lead your team. You can communicate effectively. You can do deals and partnerships in a way more effortless way. And it becomes fun. Business, life, partnerships are exciting and fun. And it allows you to really get to play with possibility. And as you learn this vital operating system, it's like this virtuous cycle that's continually spiraling upwards. Your business grows, your finances grow, your relationships grow, you grow. And you have this clarity of mind, this peace of mind, to be able to do it in a way where you're not behind anymore. And you're on this exhilarating ride. You're calm, you are confident, and you have clarity. So this is both the greatest obstacle and the greatest opportunity in front of you. And I'm going to let you know that when people meet me, they think, well, I'm open to the idea that I'm getting in the way, but I don't see it. And of course you don't see it. You are blinded from your perspective. It's totally normal and natural. And I'm not blind. And so this is why it's so effective to both show people the process and then coach them through it, is I point out the blind spots. So why am I sharing all of this? Because I'm in a season of my life where I'm committed to helping people understand how to lead powerfully. And I see well-meaning men and women building businesses and struggling needlessly. It's super sad. We live in a day where, throughout most of history, leaders were religious or from the state or government. And if you choose to be an entrepreneur, you then have a platform, a foundation on which you can stand, and you can be a leader to your team, to your customers, to your clients, to your family, to the world. And in fact, you can't pick up the stick of entrepreneurship without picking up the stick of leadership. It is a default requirement of being an entrepreneur. And for me personally, leading was not intuitive. It was, in fact, my default operating system had me pull back from leadership. I wanted everyone to like me and everyone to get along, and I didn't want to create bad feelings or emotions. That's probably all very feminine. And I see incredible men too, who are very well-meaning, men of honesty and integrity, who are actually horrible leaders. And if you can just understand these core principles of powerful leadership, you can build that vision that you have. So empowering you with these tools, with this vital operating system, to be able to go do the things that you feel called to do in the world is so fulfilling. And I feel like I'm on a mission from God to show you how to do that. So I am building out and creating a league of leaders, individuals who are looking for the tools to lead powerfully. And if that is you, and you want to understand how to learn and implement the vital operating system, how to uncover and discover the greatest lever in your business and life, and what to do about that, and how to get out of this place of friction and drag and confusion and chasing shiny objects and feeling overwhelmed, if you want to understand how to step out of all of that and how to step into a place and a direction where you feel calm, confident, at peace, and while building something really impactful and significant in the world, I'm going to invite you to go to now.katierichardson.com/case study, singular, case study. And there you'll see, I don't know, so like 6 or 8 different case studies. I tried to grab from my pool of clients, individuals who kind of represent a variety of entrepreneurs. And these are individuals who have a 7 or 8 figure business, who feel called to do what they're doing, who also care about their relationship with God and their family, and being a person of integrity matters to them. They're trying to build a business that creates the life that they want for their family. And if those things matter to you, then there's only one way for you to do that. And that's to become a not normal entrepreneur through the vital operating system. And I can show you how. So go look at those case studies. If you feel like you want to have a conversation with me about your specific situation, your specific business, your specific struggles or opportunities, and how to strategize those things, if you're looking for that, and you know what I see as the specific recipe for you to get to accomplish and achieve the things that you want, then fill out an application and book a time. And we could talk about the specifics in your business. And if you're ready and you're somebody who I feel would really benefit from this program, I will tell you about it. And if you're not ready, I will also tell you about it. So go to now.katierichardson.com/case study, and I will see you there. We'll see you in next week's episode. Bye. Thanks for listening to the What's Working Now podcast. If you found today's episode to be interesting, be sure to share this with a friend. And if you are looking to level up your organization as a CEO, I'm going to invite you to join the Now newsletter. This is a weekly newsletter. I send it out on Fridays. I tell personal stories, talk about what it's like to build a significant business while raising a family, homeschooling kids. And I even share case studies, very timely, relevant situations where I go into detail how I am helping entrepreneurs navigate, lead, and build incredible organizations. You can get all of that behind the scenes information and more inside the Now newsletter. I've got a link to it right now in the show notes, and I will see you in the next episode.